One of the first devices to make a moving picture was this, the zoetrope. Now, it might not look like much, but if you look at it from the right angle and then spin it, well, you can see the horse inside actually moving. So after seeing one of these made from paper, what's stopping me from making one out of Lego? Lego minifigures alone are super posable, so we have so many options for what exactly we're gonna animate. Now, I'm not sure how well this is gonna work, but if it does work, this is gonna be super cool. Let's do this. So in order to make these out of Lego, we need a lot of one thing, and I got just that. So I wanted this zoetrope to look super cool, so I wanted a minifigure to be the main subject, and so I ordered a bunch of a certain minifigure. So in here we got, it's one of the Bricklink sellers that use like official Lego bags. But we got a bunch of brand new Lego Minecraft Steves. Like literally, I got 16 of them. And I also got 16 pickaxes, so we can do a cool animation with all of these. The reason why I got Steve is because he's in a ton of sets, which makes him super cheap. So these were all brand new, but they're like a buck or two. So now that we got all these guys, let's build them. All right, I got all 16 built, and wow, this is a weird sight to see. But yeah, let's start building the zoetrope. The first thing we need to figure out is how we're going to mount 16 Steves in a circle. And I tried a lot of things to try and get 16 points from a circle. If I put these two Technic pieces together, it'll make 6 points, but you can see that they're not perfectly opposite from each other, which is not what we want. There's also this option that I used in my propellers, but it only gives 6 points. So after a bunch of different things, I've settled on the Lego A pieces. The reason why is if you put these together, they will form a circle that then has 8 different points. But we need 16 points. So I have a second dish here, and then we can just put them on top of each other. And if we off-center them, then that is 16 points. But the issue is that they both spin separately from each other, which is not gonna work right. But if I off-center them and then put a 1x2 brick on the bottom one, and then do that for every single point, then they are locked together and there is barely any wiggle room. And they're sandwiched together by these two Technic bushings. And there we go, we have 16 points. So now that we got 16 points, we need to extend them out wider so then we can actually like put an animation on there. Okay, so I removed all the 1x2 white bricks and I'm replacing them with these 2x6 bricks so then we can extend this out. And these 2x6s are going on every single point. And I ain't gonna lie, this actually looks really cool. Okay, well I'm gonna strengthen all of these up and then add a little wall, and then we might be able to actually try it out. Well, this thing is coming along very nicely. You can see it's already like kind of working. Like if you just look through the side, you can see through it like really good. There's cracks in between every panel like we need. So I'm hoping if I put all the Steves in here, then it should animate. These panels are still a little short, so I'm not sure if we could see it, but might as well try it. Okay, I added all the Steves and I just did a simple little animation of him putting his arm up and down. And it kind of reminds me of doing stop motion. It's just in a big circle. And when I look into it, it actually works. It's actually so cool. And the camera should be able to pick it up. You can kind of see Steve putting up and down his arm. Yes, you can. It's so cool. So now that we know that that works, I'm gonna try and extend up this top a little bit so you don't have to look so sideways. You can look up from above a little more. And we can build some cool animations for this because this is actually really cool. Well, I just got the extended walls done and I'm realizing this is kind of getting pretty heavy. So what I'm gonna do is make a stand that it sits on and then we can spin it off of that stand. So let's do it. Well, there we go. It's a super simple, just black cube. And there's a hole through the middle. And I also added this little dish to the bottom of the big dish because this will keep it more stable as it turns on here. So this just sits in that hole really easily and then it can rotate through it. And then you don't have to hold it and then it stays perfectly level as well. So now it's time to make our animations. This feels like a cotton candy machine when I did that. Okay, so for this animation, I'm gonna try and make Steve so that he mines like this, and then he walks, and then he continues mining. I'm not sure how hard this is gonna be, but here's the process. So I'm actually gonna lay out all of the different variants of Steve out here and then put them in the zoetrope, because that'll be a lot easier than doing it while it's in there. So let's get all these pickaxes on all the Steves. Putting these on, I realized that if they're at different lengths on different characters, then the pickaxe might animate like up and down a little bit in the hand. I tried to get it pretty accurate, so it shouldn't do it too much, but we'll see what it looks like in the hand, I guess. Okay, as I animate each variant of Steve, I'll put him down here on the edge of this base plate, and let's hope this works. Okay, well here's the whole animation that I'm gonna do. Hopefully, if it turns out right, this should look really cool. I've added a lot of movement. His head even moves and all that. So let's move it into the zoetrope and see if this is gonna work out. Okay, I got all the Steves in there. They should be positioned correctly. I haven't tried it out yet, so here we go. I sure hope this works. Oh, it works. The animation looks... I'll show you guys the animation, but basically it's like Steve pickaxes twice and then he just goes like, oh, and then he goes back to pickaxing. Let me show you. All right, I have it set up, so if I spin it, you should be able to see the animation. Steve pickaxes twice and then he faces the camera and puts his arms up. It's a little wobbly for some reason on the stand, but you can definitely see the animation. It's like I made stop motion, but with all Lego, like completely Lego. Now if I spin it really, really fast, it looks like you're playing Minecraft at like 5 times speed, but still works and it's super cool. Made it a little more levels, so it should work slightly better now. And now you can see Steve mine for 2 seconds and then probably see a creeper and freak out and then go right back to mining. Okay, so I actually ended up reworking this a little bit because how I had it attached to the center was actually illegal somehow. I thought that across here was 5 bricks wide, so I had these before that were 5 bricks. And for some reason, it's the slightest bit shorter than 5 bricks wide. Not sure if that's just because they're pulling together too tight or what, but I came up with this new design that uses axles instead, so that it's slightly under 5 bricks wide, and then no pieces are being stressed. And while I was at it, I also made it so that this axle doesn't move anymore. It's actually connected directly to this because we are going to motorize it. Now, yes, motorizing it is just nice to have, but I have a better reason. When these panels scroll past and you can see the animation between them, they're just blocking out segments of light so that you see an animation instead of a blur. And so a strobe light does the exact same thing as these walls. So I want to try that out, but for it, we need this to stay at a constant speed and not change, which is why we need to motorize it. Just to show you what I'm trying to achieve with the flashing light in this. This is a video of the exact same effect on like Simpsons characters, and it looks really cool. They're all like constantly moving and they just look like they're there. And so that's the effect I'm trying to get, so then you won't have to look through panels. Not sure if it'll work, but we might as well try it. So I'm gonna need to modify this base to get this thing motorized. Okay, so I upgraded the stand with the motor and it was just like spinning all over the place. So I had to add these rubber feet to the bottom and they actually work really well and now it doesn't move. But now we can get the zoetrope and then it just goes on here. Put the gear in there too. And then we can do it at whatever speed we need to get the right frame rate, which we are going to go figure out. But first we need to remove these panels off the sides because theoretically we won't need them anymore. Now this looks extra weird, it's just a circle of Steves. But all right, let's go figure this out. Okay, I have it set up here in my pantry because this is where it gets really dark. So theoretically, if this works, you should be able to see the animation from anywhere you look at this, which would be super cool. Door closing. And now you literally can't see anything First normal flashlight because I forgot to turn it on. I'm not sure how fast we need it. I'm just gonna wing it before doing any calculations just to see if we can get it. For me in real life, it's really blurry. I'm not sure if the camera's seeing it right. It's like I see the animation, but they're all just really blurry. Let's try increasing it and try that. I think it's too fast. Let's go to the slowest possible. It's kind of doing it. So if I grab a Lego Mindstorms motor, then I can calculate the RPMs perfectly so then we can actually do math. Okay, well I got the Mindstorms attached and I also made it so these gears down here are a 1-to-1 ratio. So whatever RPM I set the motor to is what this is gonna spin at. Hopefully. The only thing that could possibly change that RPM spinning is that this is big and heavy, which might slow it down slightly, but we'll find out. So I have the motor set to 60 RPM, which means the flashlight needs to be at 16 Hertz. So after doing some math, this should hopefully work. The EV3 is over here and kind of bright, it's annoying. It like kind of works. It's so blurry though, I don't understand. All right guys, I've been messing around with it because I could not get to work. It was still slightly blurry and I just got it. And it is so cool. It's crazy. Oh, it's so cool. Hopefully the camera picks it up right here. It's so cool. What the? That's trippy, bruh. That is so cool. That's a billion times cooler than the zoetrope. Okay, I changed my camera's frame rate to try and capture a little better. I think it's slightly better. It's definitely easier to see in person, but wow, is it cool, man. This is honestly way cooler than the zoetrope. I ain't gonna lie. Wow, these black bars are annoying. Maybe this is a bad idea to lower the frame rate. Okay, I promise this will be the last time I give you a headache with these flashing lights, but I lined it up even better now so there's basically no motion blur. There's the slightest bit, but it's like perfect basically. I wish the camera could pick it up as well as you see it in person. It picks it up pretty good, but y'all get the point. It's really cool. You can just look anywhere and see the animation. Well, there's the Lego zoetrope. I learned that the version that we made with the lights is actually called a stroboscope, supposedly, because of the strobe light. So I guess we made a zoetrope and a stroboscope, but they both surprisingly worked and the stroboscope looks absolutely insane when it goes. The camera doesn't do it justice. It looks way cooler in person. If I could get the perfect frame rate on my camera, then you guys could see it perfectly too, but I can't get such a specific frame rate on my camera. There's so much more I could do with this. I could make way bigger animations and stuff, so let me know down in the comments if y'all want to see a part 2 to this. But if you want to check out another video similar to this, I'll have a link up here in the corner and down in the description. But as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell. And then they're sandwiched together by these two Technic bushings. Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? All right. Log in. So when I talk about this, just search on YouTube Simpsons zoetrope, like 3D zoetrope. Okay, I promise this will be the last time I give you a seizure. It's time for James Dean. Brooklyn's got a winning team.